Hi, everyone. It's Judith Briles, and we're back again for another episode of the Author You, Your Guide to Book Publishing podcast. And I always like to start with a quote from my book, Snappy, Sassy, Salty Success for Authors and Writers. And I randomly opened it, and I think it kind of fits in with something over today. Marketing and book publishing are so Hollywood and more like a house of cards. If you ever do what they promise, you need to be part of a team. So, we're going to talk about that team, real ones and artificial ones today. With me is Tom Antion, and Tom I've known for decades.
Yeah.
Tom, decades.
Yep.
We go
Yep.
decades,
Long,
right?
long
He's
time.
one of the smartest guys I know, entrepreneurial. He loves dogs, I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
He supports a huge amount of causes. But Tom has never had a job.
Nope.
He's an internet millionaire and host of the top 1% podcast, Screw the Commute. Recently, Hollywood came knocking at his door for the subject of the American entrepreneur, a documentary premiering soon, which features Tom Antion. So, hot stuff, Tom.
Hey, how you doing there, Judith?
I'm doing good. We're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna play around with lots of tools. Gonna be like old school, old days.
Well, yeah. Whenever I do these, I do them like mini master classes because nobody wants to just hear how big a shot I am. They want stuff that helps them, and so that's pretty much how I've lived my whole career. 32 years now online since the commercial internet started, and only 4 years after I got good training, I hit multimillionaire status. So it's always good to get good training, especially from somebody like Judith, who's just landing super deals with. I mean, Costco's begging her to be with them, and so you gotta. Anyway, you gotta lay it on them. So what I planned on doing today, Judith, is called AI Hacks Simplified. So
Oh, I like that.
everything's going to be immediately usable. Your audience is going to get blown away by the things they can do for pennies or free to help them with this AI, which we're getting bombarded with every day in our inboxes, every new program,
Oh,
all this stuff. So I'm going to simplify that, give them the programs that I know that work, what's going to work for them that they can do immediately right after this call. So I just did a big summit on it. And so what I'm going to do is, and I always work from notes because I don't like to forget things. This is like 20 pages of notes, but I'm going to condense it for you all. And then they can download my whole notes and plus bonuses on how to optimize your website for AI at screwthecommute.com/AI hacks. Screwthecommute.com/AI hacks. And they'll get all the notes, all these prompts. Let's start right there, Judith, with this artificial intelligence. The big thing that you got to get good at is what they call prompts, and it's what you type into your AI thing. And when you see 3 different programs come in every day into your email inbox, all it is somebody wrote a really good prompt for like Chat GPT and then made it do
yeah.
certain things. So by the end of this call, you're going to have a bunch of tips of how you can do that yourself. I'll give you some exact prompts, and then when you download the handout, it's got
Mhm.
all these advanced prompts that are going to save you enormous amounts of time and trouble and hassle. All right.
Right. Right. So everyone, don't worry about, we're going to repeat. Number one, we're going to repeat the screwthecommute.com/AI hacks. But we'll repeat it again as we go along. So
Yeah, and that's where you can download this gigantic
yeah.
thing and just use what you need out of it. So that's the big thing, prompts. You got to learn how to do prompts, and that's what you type into things. And uh, another thing you want to do, and I'm going to give you a prompt right now that's going to save you a bunch of time. It's very short,
Okay.
and I'll outline the problem. Is a lot of times you put something into AI and it gives you an answer, but it says, well, hey, what about this? And then you give it another, answer that thing. and it almost duplicates what it said and then adds to it. And then it says, yeah, but what about this? And you put this in there, and now you got 30 pages of stuff that's half duplicated. So here's what you do to get out of that. Afterwards, you go and you put a prompt in, and you can't remember where you did it. You got 50 different chats going. It says, what did you say about, and then whatever your topic was in a previous chat? And it'll search all the other things, answers it gave you, and come and condense it for you right there. Right there is going to save you a ton of time. So what?
All right. So the cheat is you
Mhm.
just put it into the prompt. What did you say about blah, 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 blah?
Yep.
And let them go find it and then bring it back up.
Exactly. Instead of you searching through all these chats you got going and all that. All right. Now, another cool thing is your AI will help you create a great prompt for it. So instead of you trying to think one up on your own, you say, hey, I need to know about how to buy a new family car. So give me a prompt that covers all the things I should do and ask you about buying a new family car. And it creates the prompt. And then you just say, okay, use that prompt. So you didn't have to think. You just told it what you
So
wanted to accomplish.
you ask the prompt box
Right.
to create the prompt.
Exactly.
I got it. Okay.
Okay. And like I said, I'm condensing a lot of this stuff, but another thing that people don't realize is that if you click the app little button on the left, ChatGPT is connected to a whole bunch of other programs. So let's say, Judith, you like Canva to create business cards and graphics and so forth. You can click app in ChatGPT and say, connect to my Canva account. And then instead of copying and pasting and fooling around all over with 3 screens to do stuff, it all happens right there in ChatGPT. You can say, okay, I want a business card with this color scheme, blah, 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 and and use Canva for this. And it goes and grabs your Canva account and puts it all right in front of you instead of trying to copy and paste. So that's app connection. So if you just click on it, you can see all the ones that are already have deals with ChatGPT, and you pick the ones that you use regularly. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now there's going to be a little later, I'm going to show you some writing stuff. It's just going to blow you away because this is all about writing. And one thing about the AI stuff is it wants to please you. It wants to pat you on the back so that you keep using it. Well, I couldn't build a career off of patting you on the back for doing dumb stuff. All right. So I'm going to show you a hack that is going to make the ChatGPT not worry about upsetting you. It's going to be very harsh on your writing, and you're going to get a way better answer for it. All right. Now, there's another very important thing that's going to help you out. It's called an AI aggregator. Fancy term, right? I happen to use a thing called fall.ai, FAL.ai. See, there's thousands of AI programs. So fall.ai has taken about 600 of them and putting them in one place for you. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, you don't have to go to separate programs to learn them and to pay their fees. So I go to fall.ai and I put in like $10. And then it has all these programs that I'm going to show you in a minute that do all kinds of cool stuff. And then I make a graphic and it subtracts 15 cents from my total instead of me going to all over Hell's Half Acre to find different programs and learn how to use them. And then it makes each interface for the program standardized. So you don't have to learn how to use all these other programs. It's all standardized. So if you learn how to use one, you learn how to use the other one. So that's fall.ai. It's called an AI aggregator. All right. Now, let's, if we could share screens, I'm going to click here and see if I can share my screen. And I'm going to show you some of the amazing graphics things that you can do with AI, not just ChatGPT. In fact, it's not one of the best. So I'm going to show you some other programs that are way better for
Okay.
graphics to promote yourself. Okay, so the first one,
Do you want to share your screen
yeah,
first?
I'm gonna share. I'm just telling you
Oh,
about what
okay.
you're gonna see here pretty
Oh,
soon. So
okay.
I'm gonna it's called text to image. So this means you can just tell it what you want some graphic to look like, and it will come out that way. And the best one for this is Nano Banana. It's part of Google's Gemini. And you got weird names for all this stuff. But it's far better and less frustrating than trying to do this in ChatGPT. They're all getting better, but this is by far better than ChatGPT. So I'm going to
And
share
what was it called? The banana one?
Nano, Nano, Banana. And the current version is 2, but it could be 3 by the time you watch this. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to show you a graphic here that can you see that?
I
Tom
can.
the superhero?
Superman.
Yeah. So I said the prompt was, give me a superhero, Superman looking guy with my face on it in a Gotham City type atmosphere, surreal with thunder and lightning in the background, and put this text on it. I can save you 200,000 on college, and there's my school right there. So that created that, and that cost 15 cents for me to create that in about 30 seconds. Amazing. Now I want you to remember this picture because we're going to show you a little later on image to video where we made this guy fly around the city. Right. So, and that,
Why not?
yeah, why not? Right. So that's called image to text. Now you have, I mean, text to image. Now there's other things, image to image. And so I'm going to bring over a photo of my dad and my 3 older brothers, and the photo, can you see that? It's all, old time photo stuff,
The
right?
old time photo.
The old time
Yes.
photo. And notice up here where this is all just white and blank, right? Okay, so here's what it came up with to fix this photo. And
Wow.
the prompt was here. I'm going to give the exact prompt from this. I'll read it quickly because you can rewatch this and download it. Carefully colorize this historical black and white photo with historically accurate colors, realistic skin tones, natural lighting, subtle film grain, detailed and sharp, and fix the imperfections in the photo. That was the prompt. And that's what I got for 15 cents. Okay. So you can fix and old photos and colorize them. That's what that's called. Okay. Now,
So what is the name of
that's Nano Banana. Still, this is
it's
all,
still we're still in the
yeah,
banana one.
yep, Nano
Okay.
Banana. Yeah, this is still
Okay.
all the kinds of things you can do, why it's considered one of the best for graphics. Okay, so the next thing is here's a picture of me when I first met my little Pomchi when she was a baby, and I'm
Oh.
sitting in a school bus. They're remodeling into a camper. Okay, so this is what it starts with. So what I did is I prompted it to say change the background color to a blue gradient and posterize this. And here's what it came out right there. Not bad, right? But then I said change the background to red and cartoonize this. Beautiful. And you can use these. There's no copyright on these. You can use them in all promotional or any kind of thing you want. And then I don't know if we can show this one. I put it into another program, and I said, "Make the dog lick my face." And there it is. That cost me, I think, 49 cents to do that. And do you know how much that would cost to make that happen if you just went on the real animators, photos, cartoon anime? I mean, thousands of dollars probably for you can do this right there. Nano Bananas for that. Okay, so let's close that stuff.
Well, that looks like a great tool. Now, is this
Yep.
a free tool? Is this a free tool?
No,
We have to buy it.
remember if you put some money into that aggregator I told you, you only pay as you use it. So it's not you can have a free part of it, but uh, the faster, if you pay a little bit, you get fast results and better results. So yes, you can do a lot of this stuff for free, but I mean for 15 cents and 30 seconds worth of time, I don't know how much your time is worth. It's
A lot.
yeah, exactly. Say, and we made the cover for the report they're going to download. This cost me 3 cents. And it happened in less than 30 seconds. I said, give me a futuristic thing, 8.5 by 11, that says AI Hacks Simplified with my name on it. 3 cents for that. Okay, let's see. Now, headshots. People, I'll show you this. I came in with the dogs from the rain, running the dogs, waiting for them to poop. And there's me, all right, with a selfie. Pitiful, no shower, no nothing. And I said, make a professional headshot for me with this. So there, that was 15 cents and 30 seconds. And then I said, I don't really part my hair. Make the hair straight back and wavy, and there. Now, the first one, though, sometimes it messes up on you. So, but it's so cheap. So the first one that I did, I told it, make my blue eyes pop a little bit. So it did this. so,
Whoa.
so I affectionately call that my Erica eyes, if you've been following the Erica Kirk stuff. All right, so headshots you can do. Okay, now I used to pay $400 to $500 and spend the whole day at the photographers to get a product shot, of my books and CDs and stuff. So here's what I started with. And all I did, and I didn't even give it a lot of prompt. I just said, make me some kind of product shot here. And it came up with that in about 30 seconds. And it came up with this in another 30 seconds. Okay. So it used to cost $400, 15 cents, or some of them 3-4 cents when you use this. All right. Now, the next thing I want to tell you about is image to video. So you remember the superhero guy, right? That
Yeah,
picture of the
Mr.
superhero.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
bulk up Gothic guy.
yes. So I took this into, there's a couple programs that'll do this well, VO3 and Kling, Kling. And I took this in there and I told it to make it fly around the city and so forth. And here's, wait a minute, that's the picture again. So let me find the, where it
Well, that's
flies.
okay. You need to be reminded.
Here we go. That cost 12 cents to make that do that in Kling. VO3 gave me the same results, but it was more expensive for some reason. It was $3. So, and you can put audio on them and everything. So, amazing things you can do with graphics with these things. And here's a thing I did a thumbnail for YouTube for a podcast masterclass I'm doing. So again, about 15 cents in no more than 30 seconds. It took longer to write the prompt than it did to kick out the graphic. All right. So I think we can unshare now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we should be back. Okay.
Hopefully we'll come back. So
we just covered there VO3, Kling, and Nano Banana. And if you just got to use those, it would take care of virtually all your graphics for pennies. You look
well, that's huge. Yeah, it's huge. So, did he bring you back? Ben, you need to release, stop the share.
Yeah, I think it is. I can
There it
see
is.
it. Yeah.
Now it is now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just graphic stuff.
Okay, so Tom, I'm just gonna say this. I am seeing so much AI generated stuff, which you are,
Mhm.
from text to whatever. And with those just couple of tools, why does 90% of them look like slop?
Well, because of what I said when I opened this up, the prompt. People get lazy and they don't give really great prompts, and so the you're just leaving it to its own devices. It'll just grab stuff and slop it together, and so all of that stuff was because the prompt was really good. See,
Hmm.
that's why I massively emphasize that. And
It's all about the prompt.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in the writing section here, I'm going to show you how to prompt. So when it looks at your writing or it generates writing, it doesn't look like AI anymore. But everybody says, write me an email on this, that, and the other. Oh, it'll write it, but it's going to look like AI. So I'm going to give you an exact prompt a little later that shows you
Okay.
how to make it not look like AI and then how to check it with a before you put it out to see how bad it is or how good it is. Okay? All right.
Mm.
Now, one problem, there are problems with AI. You just mentioned one, but another one is called hallucinations.
Oh, yes, the
Yeah.
hallucinations.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and a judge got it really egged on his face where he used a fake lawsuit in his response to a thing, and the thing that he cited as a example never happened, and the judge got caught for that, and this looked like an idiot. So, here's a prompt that you can use to help get out of that.
Okay.
Verify, the prompt is verify and cite all your answers. And so if it can't cite legitimate sources, then don't trust it. And even if it does cite some, you go check before you ever use research from AI in a book, because you could ruin your whole credibility by putting something in there that really didn't happen.
So is this a prompt
Yeah,
or is
that would
this
be a
just
prompt that you would
okay?
put in when you're researching something. Verify and cite all your answers. And if it just comes back with no you know, connections to some legitimate source, you better check it like crazy before you put it in a book, right?
Yeah.
With
So
your name on it.
everyone, if you're going to use verify and cite, make sure you spell cite
Yeah,
correctly.
correctly. That's right. Okay, let's see what else I got here for you. I got headshots, book covers. Okay, and you got so much stuff to tell you. Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you now is 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 going to blow you away. I'm going to show it to you. Find my cell
Okay.
phone here. Okay, this is called real-time mobile vision. So I'm going
Okay.
to my cell phone right now. I'm going to open it up, unlock it. I'm going to open the ChatGPT app. I'm going to hit this button, and then I'm going to hit the video camera, and I'm going to say, hey, what am I looking at right now?
You're looking at your Stream Deck, your trusty little control panel. I see it's got all your custom shortcuts lit up. With a tap, you're basically the captain of a digital spaceship.
And if I needed, could you help me learn how to program it?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to walk you through setting up custom buttons, profiles, or even fancy multi-actions. Just let me know what you'd like your magic buttons to do.
Can you imagine that? Um,
So you have an Aussie guiding
Like
you,
giving
huh?
yourself a mission control.
yeah, you can have different voices on it, but all right. So, hey, I need to do a role play. I want to get a job at Judith Briles' organization. She's a top author and teaches writing. But I've never had a job and I'm 71 years old. So help me do a mock interview with Judith and critique my answers.
All right, I'm ready to channel my inner Judith Briles. I'll throw some questions your way as if you're sitting down for that interview. And don't worry, if your answer's a little off, I'll nudge you towards something that might charm her socks off. Ready to give it a go?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Ask me something.
All right. So, Tom, You've never had a traditional job, but you've got a lifetime of entrepreneurial experience. If I'm Judith, I'd ask, what unique strengths do you bring from your entrepreneurial journey that would fit my organization?
Well, I am somebody that is willing to get rid of razor blades because I've grown a beard and I look differently now. And I found out that razor blades contribute to global warming, so that's why I did it.
Well, that's certainly memorable, but let's tweak it. How about highlighting how your entrepreneurial flexibility allows you to adapt to new challenges, like picking up a pen instead of a razor, and that you always keep learning and evolving for the bigger picture?
All right. Thanks for your help. I think I didn't get the job. So goodbye.
Oh, okay. I'm using. So what app are you using on this?
That's ChatGPT on the mobile app.
The mobile version.
Yeah, the mobile version. And so I showed you, you can look at whatever you want to look at and it'll tell you what it is.
Wow.
And answer questions about it. You could be in the forest and look at a tree. What kind of tree is that? And then you can use it for role playing, like I just made up that stupid one. But I mean, you can do that. You can have it take the role of a CEO of a company, and you're trying to sell something to them and get them to object to all your things, and you overcome objections and practice before you go in front of the real CEO. See, so just amazing stuff you can do.
So Tom, I have to ask you,
Sure.
how long did it take you to weave through this to learn this stuff?
Well, you know, I've been doing this
really?
full time for, 32 years online, but I mean, AI just came around in the last couple years and I poo-pooed it
Yes.
for a while because I've been around for other fads like MySpace that came and was the best of all and then disappeared. So I use what I call dull edge technology. I wait till the geeks figure it all out and then I swoop in and use the good stuff to make money. So it did not take long, especially if you got some, if you watch the full masterclass, then they can get in touch with me and I can match the notes to my full masterclass on this, all free, and I can show them where to find it. But it did not take long if you got good. Just like when internet, I didn't make money for the first 2 years until I got good training, and then I immediately started making money. So these are not hard things. None of them. A lot of them are immediately usable. Like to save you time, a lot of people don't use master prompts. And the AI will help you make a master prompt. So what a master prompt is your version of ChatGPT, or all of them will do it, is it wants to know all about you. And so you don't have to make super great prompts because it already knows Judith Briles is this. She's written these number of books and she did this and that. It already knows that. And so here's the super hack for that.
Okay.
You tell GPT to interview you because you want to build a master prompt as the CEO of my company. Now, you could have your video guy do it. You could have your TogiNet people do it. All right. And you could have my IT guy does it. So that each one of them has their own master prompt. And the way you put it in is you go to profile and then settings and then personalization. And there's a box called custom instructions. So after you answer all these questions that it prompted you for, you paste that into your custom instructions, and then all your answers from then on, it already knows about you. So you don't have to go super deep into every prompt because it already knows about you. All right. So you just tell it to interview you.
So that sounds like that would be smart for all of us.
Oh, everybody. Yeah. I mean, you're crazy to have to tell it every time you make a prompt the same crap over and over again. See, that's not automation. That's time wasting.
Okay.
Now, here's some other things you can put in your master prompt. And I'm not going to tell you what to put in. I'm going to, because you have to put in what you like. So for instance, you could put in, think deeply and be extremely thorough and double check your work in your master prompt. But I might say, no, I want bulleted quick items as answers. See, that's two different things. If you send me that deep one, I'm like, oh, I can't take it. I'm not that kind of person, right?
Yeah.
However, let's say I use the bullet one in my master prompt. So I get this quick thing, but it's something really important and I need a deep research. I just click the deep research button and it overrides the bullets and goes deep on that particular subject. See? So that's, or you could just tell it, override my bullet points and give me a really deep thought on this particular topic. So you can do that. So these are.
So Tom, how much do you put in about yourself with this interview? I mean, is this the tell-all?
Well, you do have privacy concerns, so you don't want to put in too much proprietary stuff, but, so I still might say, hey, I've got a podcast, 1,100 episodes. I've got this, that. So it's going to ask you all the stuff and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but all of the stuff is designed so that you don't have to make super prompts every time you prompt. All right. So it's up to you basically. Now, there are a couple other super hacks for your master prompt. So I'm sure you've all had this happen where you prompt something and you get an answer. And then it says, well, yeah, but what about this? I mentioned this earlier. And you put another prompt, you get more stuff. You get another prompt, more, you get all this big stuff. So here's what you put in your master prompt. You say, after my prompt, ask me clarifying questions before you make an answer. So you don't end up with 50 pages of stuff that should have been 2 pages by going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So the prompt is, ask me clarifying questions before you answer. So anything it thinks it needs, it's going to ask you ahead of time, and then you get a nice, concise answer rather than trying to sift through this whole thing. And then another thing that you can put in there is before answering, always before answering, advise me on what other things I should be asking about this topic. And it'll think it through for you ahead of time. See? So those are things in master prompts. Well, another thing you can do is a reading level. Make responses as if I was a 5-year-old or a 15-year-old or a college student or a PhD or a CEO. Whatever suits you, you put it in there, and then it's going to make your responses in that reading level. You having fun yet there?
Yeah, I'm making notes. I'm making notes here.
Okay, so here's some more prompting hacks. Now, this is a funny one, a cool one. You ask ChatGPT to rate your prompt on a scale of 1 to 10. So you put a prompt in, but you add this to the prompt. Rate it from a scale of 1 to 10. If it's less than a 10, fix it to make it a 10, and then redraft it and put it in for me. So it thinks of all the things you should be saying and then puts it in for you, and then you can save that prompt if you're going to be using it again. All right. Now, this is when I was telling you about how the AI wants to be nice to you and pat you on the back. Remember I was saying that? Okay, here's the test to prove what I'm saying and how all your writers are going to really use this. Okay, so I want you to write like an email, a short email, put it in and say, please critique this email. And ChatGPT or all the AI is going to come back and say, oh, Judith, you really hit the nail on the head there. And that was really good, but you might want to, fix this typo and change this sentence, but you're on the right track and it's being nice to you, right? So then you take the same email and you put another chat. You open a new chat and you say, hey, my intern or my colleague wrote this, and I don't think it's that good. Be as harsh as you can to fix this because this is really important. And you will get a completely different answer because it's somebody else they're ragging on. And so they'll say, oh yeah, whoever wrote that was an idiot. And you can tell it how harsh you want it to be. And yeah, this doesn't do the trick. They're bragging about themselves. They're doing this, move this sentence here, and I'll rewrite the whole thing for you. But they're not worried about hurting that person's feelings because it's not you. Okay. So you just tell them. So anytime you're critiquing your writing, you pretend it's not you, and you will get
Oh,
a much better result. Because, like
wow.
I said, I can't help you if patting you on the back for doing poor work, right? But I don't want to offend you. So if it's somebody else, you get away with it. All right, got that?
I do.
All right. Now, anytime you want to add to your, so you're never going to get your master prompt perfect right off the bat. So anytime something comes up and you say, oh, that should be in my master prompt, all you have to do is say, add this to my memory. And it throws it in there for you. Now, the opposite side of that, Judith, is if it's something, let's say you have this beautiful master prompt for your business, it's all ready to go, but you don't want to dilute it because you're planning your kid's birthday.
Okay.
You do a temporary chat, which does not put anything you do in memory. So all you do is you click on new chat, and then depending on if you're on a Mac or PC, you click a button that says temporary chat, and it doesn't put it in memory. So it doesn't dilute your good master prompt. Got it?
I think so. So,
Yeah, so this is something that's totally off topic,
okay.
and you don't want it to go into your master prompt. So you do a temporary chat, and then it just gives you the answer like always, but it doesn't put anything into your master chat or your memory. Okay.
Right. It doesn't retain it.
Exactly. Yeah. So you get the answer, and then that's the end of it. All right. So if you like to organize, like for instance, I have a tennis business, I have a protection dog business, internet business, all this stuff I have, self-defense.
You do.
So on the left-hand side, there's a thing called projects. So I can keep everything for protection dogs. People don't give a darn about writing or me being on with you, right? They're worried about dogs. So everything can be compartmentalized, and that each project can have its own master prompt. See? So that's how to organize your thing and not dilute other parts of your business. See? So that's projects. All right. Now, another great thing for writers is using the canvas function. You know about that?
Canvas. No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Okay. So the canvas function allows you to edit right inside ChatGPT. So when you turn on the canvas function, it splits the screen and has your prompt on the left and your
Uh-huh.
results on the right, your writing on the right, and you can edit either one of them. You can change the prompt right there and it'll change the writing, or you can change the writing right there and edit it before you download it. See? So that's
Got
the
it.
canvas function. And people ask me all the time, well, how do you turn it on? You just tell in the prompt, use the canvas for this prompt. And then it automatically gives you the result, and you click edit and it splits the screen, and then you can edit the prompt if you want to tweak it, or you can edit the result for you before you download it. So you don't have to copy and paste it and, like I said, do all that stuff. That's the
So
key.
then it merges it all in.
Yeah. So you're editing live instead of,
Right.
get your result. You could copy it and take it to a word processor and edit it, but there's no need because you can edit it right there before you download it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I like I can't remember which little but I like
Which what?
which bullet point I have above on my paper here, that where you mention to tell them at what grade level to
Mm-hmm.
do your writing at. I think that for all of you, that's really important to understand
Yeah. So
that.
that will go in your master prompt, and you'd say, give my responses at the fifth grade level, or whatever you want, or PhD or CEO, and you can always override it. That's the thing. anything in the master prompt in a particular prompt, you could say, let's say you got invited to grade school to talk about writing books. Well, you you don't want to have the PhD stuff there instead of the 5-year-old stuff. See? So you can override it. Okay, now here's the writing prompt that will get your writing to not look like AI. So I'll give it to you.
Aha. This is
And
the magic one
yeah,
now. Here,
I'll
here
give
it
it to you
comes.
here, and then like I said, it's the full thing is downloaded, but I'll give you the most part of it. Okay, when writing, your task is to sound entirely human, natural, grounded, and free from detectable AI phrasing. Follow these rules strictly. Never use em dashes. Replace them with commas or shorter sentences. Vary sentence length. Mix short, simple lines with occasional medium ones. Use contractions naturally. Keep the tone conversational and unforced. Avoid all overused AI words and phrases like moreover, nevertheless, and I got a whole list, like 20, 30 of them.
I know I gag. Well,
Yeah, well,
I gag.
and then if I paste text, rewrite it using the above style. If you're generating new text, apply the same rules. So if you put that in your master prompt, you have just gone 1,000% more than most writers will ever do. Just that one prompt alone. And you got to get a lot of the words. Like I said, there's 20, 30 of them here. You can download and look at them. Then,
All right, where are we going to download this at? Because I would like those words.
yeah, this is going to be at the screwthecommute.com/AI hacks.
AI hacks.
This
Okay.
whole thing. Plus, it's
Got
going
it.
to have
Got
a
it.
section on optimizing your website so AI picks it up. Okay.
Got
Now, once you do that, you can take it, if you want to double check, you can take it into a program called quillbot.com. But there's loads of these, and these are generically called AI text analyzers.
Okay.
So if you Google that, there's loads of other ones, but I just happen to use Quillbot, and it detects how much of your writing looks like AI, and it evaluates the reading level. So if it says you're good to go, it only looks like 2% or 5% AI, you just beat the system. Okay? So those are AI text analyzers. All right. Now here's
AI text. Okay.
text analyzers. You would Google that for different programs. I just happen to use Quillbot. Okay. Now here's super hack for writers. It's a free thing called takeout.google.com. Takeout.google.com. And you export all your emails into this, and then it'll spit out just the writing of your emails. You put that into ChatGPT, and it's going to analyze your style and write future emails for you in your style. Crazy, huh?
It is crazy. I mean, how many? But I'm just saying, my emails are all different.
No, but you probably have a style though that
Oh yeah.
it
Oh
will
yes. Definitely have my
it
style.
will recognize, and it'll start you out, and you still edit them before you put it out. I don't trust anything until I've read it personally and make sure that it sounds like me. All right. But
Mhm.
and I'm a copywriting expert. I made millions on writing copy, but it'll write an email for me in 5 seconds that would have taken me 10 minutes to write, maybe. Uh, Somebody that's not real adept is 15, 20, or 30 minutes they might write, and it writes it in 5 seconds. Right? So tough stuff. Great stuff. All right. Next thing is scheduling. So
Okay.
you can schedule stuff to run prompts for you every day, every week, every month, or whatever. So here's an example. I have 1,100 episodes of my podcast. All right. And only a dozen or so podcasts ever have reached that level. But it's with that many episodes, it's like, what do I talk about now? I talked about everything under the sun. So I put a prompt in that says that 8 a.m. every morning, send me 3 podcast topic ideas for my Screw the Commute. I didn't even have to say Screw the Commute because it knows me. And tell me why that you think they're relevant. And so sometimes a day goes by, I said, oh, it's all crap. But sometimes I'll see one, I'll say, oh, perfect. There's what I'm going to do on a podcast. So I'll go ahead and do the podcast, and there we go. And it just every morning it comes up with ideas for me. Say that's kind of brainstorming. Yeah. And that's called scheduling. And then if you want to see all the schedules you have or edit them, then you can go to chatgpt.com/schedules. Okay.
So are you primarily using ChatGPT versus Clyde and Gemini and all those others?
Yeah, because ChatGPT is considered general, and most of the stuff I would use it for is general, and the other stuff
Okay.
that's more specific is for my image stuff. Like I said, it's not the best for image; it'll drive you crazy on images. But then I just go over to Nano Banana. Now, if it's something critical research-wise, and I'm not sure I trust it, then I'll go to Grok and other things and see if I can get a corroboration. And then I still want to find some corroboration with legitimate sources that you can trust before I'm going to put it out under my name.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So, like I said, I got probably 50 more, but we don't have time for them. But there's one automation technique that from my automation book of how I've handled 150,000 subscribers and 65,000 customers without pulling my hair out. And everybody listening to this, including you and the TogiNet people and everybody else, are crazy if they don't do what I'm going to tell them right now.
All right.
It's crazy.
I'm ready.
All right.
I've got my pen.
All
I'm
right.
writing it down, Tom.
If you use a PC, you're going to use a program called Shortkeys, shortkeys.com. If you use a Mac, there's a little bit more complicated program, but it's called Keyboard Maestro. And we estimated, Judith, a couple years ago that this program has saved me nearly 10 million keystrokes, saved me carpal tunnel syndrome. And so what it is, it's called, the fancy name is called a macro program. And so if I want to type greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, I just type G1 on my keyboard and it puts it out there with no misspellings.
So you have to train this.
Yeah, once, yeah. And then my rule of thumb is and I know you get them, I've gotten them for years, you're going to get the same question over and over and over again. If I get a question more than once, I'm going to put it into my macro program for the answer. And so instead of me finding it and cut and pasting or typing it, I'll just hit whatever keystroke I put. And I have a list of them so that I can't remember them all the time. And it could type in War and Peace for you as your answer. And you could still customize the top a little bit. So you're crazy if you don't use this. I can just go boom, boom, and it types that answer, and I answered that person. They think they think I'm the second coming because nobody answers them quick anymore. When some of these companies say, "We'll get back to you in 48 hours if you're lucky," and so the first one that gets back to them is going to get the business, all right, because they're going to feel like, "Wow, you're a great company," and it just saves you enormous amounts of time and energy. So, Keyboard Maestro on the Mac and Shortkeys on the PC. Absolute.
Tom, how long did it take you to? I suspect that you did your training of the short keys in stages.
Yeah,
it wasn't all at once.
Anytime I get another question, I just add it to it. It took, I don't know, if you rode the short bus, it probably took you 10 minutes to learn how to use short keys, and 5 minutes if you're half a brain. And then you just add to it every time you get something. Oh man, there's no reason for me to type that over again. You put it into short keys, and then you'll get a question a week from now. And I'll say, oh yeah, I hear that regularly. I'll put that answer in short keys. So yeah, it just goes over time. You don't have to do it all at once.
Okay. So let me now I'm going to personalize this in my newsletter. I always it's the second to the last thing I do every Wednesday on this newsletter. The last thing is I want to give them something to smile about.
Okay.
So funky, fun, I think this week that you and I taped this, I had a segment from Robin Williams and Johnny Carson that was hilarious. Something like that. But the one above it is always I have a question of the week that comes in. Right. At this point, I have over 500 questions. Could I figure out how to export those and just drop them all in at once?
I never did that. So I can't swear
Okay.
to it because each one is going to have a different trigger. If it's
Yeah, I know.
Q1 is different than
It,
Q2. So I don't know. But
including should I still be using hashtags? So, what's, that kind of thing. Do I really need to get an LCCN? Those are the kind of thing
yeah,
I get.
those are the kinds that you actually put in. But like I said, you don't have to, it would be impossible for you or me to think about all the questions we've had just sitting down in one sentence. So as soon as you get the question again, then you say, okay, you take a minute and put it into short keys. And then the next time you get it, you're just going to hit a button and boom, you're going to save
Okay.
yourself time.
And it's called Short Keys.
Shortkeys.com. It's about $30. It was
Oh,
20 when I
okay.
bought. I've been using this since 1997. and
So
that's
this
for
is a
PC.
page separate. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
fine. Tom, I hate to
One
do
time.
this. We have 1 minute left.
Yeah.
So
I'm just getting warmed up over here, Judith.
I know. We've been away too long.
I was trying to
Obviously, we
keep you
need to come
awake
back
over
again.
there.
Yeah. Okay, so here, screwthecommute.com/AI hacks, plural.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you could also do screwthecommute.com/automate free if you want my whole book on how I automate my business.
Automate free to get the free book.
Yep. Screwthecommute.com/automate
How to automate your business. Well, I know that all the authors are looking for this kind of stuff. I mean, we're always looking for shortcuts.
There you go.
We're always entrepreneurs is sometimes a lonely number. So before 30 seconds, when will the American Entrepreneur come out? Any idea? They
That's several months from now, and I'd love to have them on the launch team. And that's screwthecommute.com/launch team.
Okay.
And then
I'm on it, everybody.
Yep,
Yeah.
she's on it. And then they can it's the launch team you don't have to do a lot. Watch the whole thing and watch the trailer and send me a comment. So that'd be great.
Okay. Well, the trailer is actually quite good.
Yeah, this is Hollywood stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, it's Hollywood stuff. All right. Tom Antion, fabulous. You can find him also on his website. Tom
I'm
Antion.
everywhere.
He's everywhere. But also you've mentioned your masterclass. I think that's worthwhile to check into.
Yeah,
the full
they can
masterclass.
just contact me and I'll tell them where that is for free once it gets put up. Yeah.
Great. Perfect. All right, Tom, thank you so much for being with us. There we go.
Later.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.